Hello, everyone. We're recording the Voyager finals match of Stasis and Catintree. I am joined by two people.
Hello, Morgana here.
Hello, Neon Blue here. I have the experience of this format of that of a capybara, as in I've played one game, and I think I can convince him to give it a try.
Okay.
Anyways,
Do we have any capybaras in the format? Then
I don't believe so.
can't believe this. It is a type.
yeah,
Oh, it's
I
not.
will
it
check
is.
seedings for him.
Catintree is higher seated, right?
Yeah. Okay, it looks like the bot is being slow. Okay, Catintree starts. I assume they properly checked. Yep, Caventry's higher seated. Okay, so Stasis is on Monored aggro, and Caventry's on the Bant enchantment mid-range deck pile thing, with like retreat to the border hold and a lot of stuff that works well when blinked. Caventry has not faced the aggro decks this GP, despite there being like 3 to 4 of them, I believe. So yeah, we'll see how Caventry's slower deck actually ends up faring against the fast one. Any additional thoughts on the decks?
Well, Catintree played against Silver's Tempo, which which can play fast if it needs to.
Yep.
But it's not as explosive as our two aggro decks.
Yeah. Um, Looking at the hands, there's a Shockadile, which is going to kill. It's going to be fast. But
Yeah,
there is this.
Stasis has the same problem as I did. That is being mono-red against enchantments.
Yeah,
So the enchantments will never be able to be removed, but hopefully Stasis can kill before that becomes a problem.
yeah. The best kind of removal is player removal. Okay. Erdonic Attendant comes down first. So this makes the binding decision worse because it's not going to be able to hit the Shockadile. Likely Stasis is trying to go Shockadile plus Blaze Foxes on turn 2 to be able to liberate the Attendant and attack for 3. The Attendant isn't going to get liberated because of the binding decision, but still going to see attacking for 3. Um, Stasis is
More
on.
subverts, that's alright.
Yeah. Those can deal a total of 8 damage in the late game, which is helpful for reach.
Are
Like,
we seeing Striker come out or Shocktail Foxes?
looks like Striker based on tapping 2 at once, but who knows? Yeah, there's the Striker. If Catintree draws a binding decision, this will be worse, but, or well, the Consecrated Farmland makes it so this is like much more easily blocked than the Fox is, because Catintree only has to give
And
up with 1 token, and the binding decision is
uh,
just gonna remove it.
yeah, so they Tyrant to get the land drop, and then they Binding here.
Yep. No longer gains life, but still pretty nice here.
And
So
you can flicker it with border retreat, and that comes back as a creature instead of just an enchantment.
there's Shadow of Grace here as well, with just having that flicker here. Notably, they are going to have to be paying some life to these Riptide todays, or Rip to Yesterdays rather, which is annoying in an aggro matchup, but like Catintree is going to be able to just get that 6/5 next turn if needed. Art'll be Gatekeeper.
Stasis not drawing the lands.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We are going to see the Crocodile plus Blaze Foxes swing for 3. But this will just, like, get blocked by Consecrated Farmland tokens, so Catintree seems to be in quite a good position here. Land draw means Catintree can now both Consecrated Farmland and Shadow of Grace, so they can get the 2/1 and the Tyrant as a creature, which is going to be rough for Stasis. Okay, fetching out of the Sanctum a island.
Although you could debate not blinking the Tyrant,
Okay, looks like
as
they're just...
you would only lose like 2 life, and you could have the Shadow of Grace remove one of Stasis' creatures in the future.
Yeah, it is a 2/4 as well, which is nice for blocking. But looks like Catintree just instantly goes for it, rather than holding it up. I guess to give the Tyrant Ward, which will just basically straight up make it unkillable against Stasis' deck, because that there's just not enough burn to deal that much damage. And then with Ward,
Especially when Stasis does not draw lands.
yeah. Like, theoretically, before they could have killed it with, like, Subvert plus Call of the Rose or double Subvert, but even then you have to, like, foretell and then do all that, and now it's just literally impossible. And yeah, Stasis continues to be stuck on lands. Just not drawing the third land.
Yeah, with that additional land, they could set up for killing the Tyrant next turn.
And also, Opener of Glass is really bad for Catintree, because then Stasis is getting to a potential range where they could burn for lethal with their 10 points of burn in hand, even if it is slow.
Yeah, like opening here, like Opener of Glass swing out could leave them in a life total where you just race the Tyrant, or like if they keep up the Tyrant to block, you go up at the top.
Yeah, but just not hitting the land means doesn't matter. Well, maybe. Depends on what Catintree does with the Tyrant. But this Tyrant is definitely here to stay. Okay, looks like a Subvert is going to get foretold. And yeah, just passing.
Yeah, not much you can do in that situation.
Yeah. So I guess with Catintree, we'll see Call of the King to make the 3/3 just as another blocker.
Yeah, but Sanctum does not have any Pathbound cards, which might have been useful.
Yeah.
Reach
Passive
of Insight.
Insight. Yeah, that would have been able to draw quite a few cards.
Because the Rip to Yesterday can add the silver to Pathbound it, and then the blue to cast it subsequently.
Yep. Looks like we are swinging with the Tyrant. Stasis, yeah, just chooses to take it here. This does leave
Yeah,
Catintree a bit more vulnerable.
taking it will make it easier to go over for top.
Yeah. They accidentally made a Rip to today instead of a Rip to yesterday. Let's go. We love naming conventions.
We love TVV names.
Do we have a Rip to tomorrow? I forget if we do.
There is a card named that. I just don't know if it's in this format.
It is. It's in Eternities. This
We
is a
love
lot
TVP
worse
names.
than the
But
other.
most of the stuff is Almost as much as we love mirror names.
I'm not gonna pronounce it. This one. Arkyle Zajapratek Kugsratajategex. Close enough.
Says I'm not gonna pronounce it. Pronounces it.
Hom. I do love that you can name these knights.
Stasis has drawn a tap land, which is unfortunate.
I guess it's better than nothing. Like, yeah. Though
Yeah.
Catintree is a bit flooded here, but just has such a big board presence.
Like, Stasis could hold out for a couple turns and maybe go over the top, but depending on what Catintree draws, it might be unlikely.
Yeah. Stasis just needs to kind of find 5 points of damage somewhere and somehow live through the Tyrant for a couple turns. Like if we get to see like next turn opener and then somehow get somehow get the opener to take Tyrant damage, that could go face and give enough burn, but it looks like Stasis is opting for killing the knight over using that second subvert to get extra reach, which is going to make that harder.
We've seen the emerged Stonepiler be drawn.
Yep. That's going to be bad for Stasis. Oh, that's a good draw. Wait, why did we
Yep.
play as a land? Oh, I guess it makes it
Tyrant
less
could add
vulnerable.
copy, and then we can
Oh,
play
right.
the Stonepiler.
Oh, right, Tyrant can copy. Also makes it less vulnerable to removal at sorcery speed. So,
Yeah, you just keep it around, you don't ever transform it, you just play copies of it.
yeah. Just get infinite hypo. Let's go. I don't know what Catintree's doing, but it's
They're casting the Stonepiler. They should lose 1 life for adding green.
no, they didn't tap their lands, so. Oh, it looks like they're just keeping it on the stack. Yeah, Stasis just continues to opt to take the damage. Though that opener is going to be a really, really good deterrent for attacking. Yep, cast the Stonepiler.
Where's the land Stasis needed? But it might be a little bit too late.
Yeah. I mean, opener does get to, like, block
If
the
there's a
Tyrant, but who cares because the Stonepilers are now just killing him.
yeah, you attack with your free 1 Blaze Foxes. Probably just trade with the 2/1/1s.
Yeah. And then maybe Shockadive gets in for 2. But Catintree
No,
just does have infinite supply of Stonepilers, so.
I don't think Shockadile should be attacking.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, this is a rough position for Stasis.
I think that swinging with the Blaze Foxes and trading with the 2/1/1s allows for offensive plays with Opener of Glass in future turns.
Yep.
Like you can Opener of Glass and then next turn Artleby. Or you can this turn Artleby for a 4/1 Blaze Foxes. That's
Yeah, I mean, it is just going to trade, but you get another menacing Blaze Foxes for later, which is just going to enable you to do more plays instead of being stuck doing nothing.
I do think playing Opener was better there though.
Yeah.
Because now you do have to lose a creature to live. And with Opener of Glass, you at least would be dealing damage.
Okay, looks like is Stasis gonna go to 1 against the Tyrant here, or
That's probably what's going to happen.
Catintree might leave it
Mm,
back. Oh, that
but
yeah.
no, you can buy Sapiens to land and force Stasis to trade to block.
Oh yeah. Kalia is definitely an interesting draw. Okay, looks like Stasis is
That does not see the buy Sapiens. Okay.
yeah. So it looks like just I assume Stasis might just go to 1 here, because
Yeah, with Opener of Glass and Subvert the Light still, you could have blocked here. Catintree goes to 8, and then you have 5 damage from hand. Well,
yeah.
4, 1, and then 2.
Yeah.
So it's that's you. They will have a stone pallet to block, but they're effectively at 1,
Yep.
and so you could and you possibly might. Well, you wouldn't be able to kill, but you would be able to maybe force Tyrant to stay up, not be attacking.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna have to mute for a second.
Well, this turn, like you could see a 4-2 opener attack. Maybe preemptively burn out. Yeah. Stasis keeps the gatekeeper up because they see the submerged spires by Sapiens. Do we have enough for ending up plus 1, 2, 8? No, we need 1 more mana. This turn, but at least remove one of Stasis's cards. Leave them at 1 so you can revert to spires and kill them.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh no, that's you control. Never mind.
Femia is just also an
Yep.
invasive thing.
Yeah, Femia for Call of the King is pretty good here, but I think
Yeah, you just get to
Catintree
go for the stone pilers. This is surprisingly close. Catintree forces the block, which puts Stasis to 4. So
Stasis swings for 7 next turn. If Stasis top decks a land, Stasis can potentially win it.
yeah. Yeah, because
Activate the reserves, 7 damage on board. That has mana, so that can't be blocked. Opener of Glass would just be dealing the damage anyway, even if it was blocked. So a land wins Stasis the game here.
yeah, because no
Ooh,
no
unfortunate.
lands. So I guess
I think you still hit the button and swing for 4, and then the Tyrant can't attack anymore.
yeah, which means they're stuck on only 1 stone piler. There is also an argument that you just hold back the opener of glass and hope to kill the stone piler, but with the Themia existing, I think that's just incorrect.
Well, they can't Stone Pilot and Themia transform on the same turn.
Well, I mean, the goal would to be to cut them off from the evasion. The reserves play actually gives you
I think
like
if
kills
they,
them.
I think if Catintree wants to put Stasis to 1 with activating his Sideboard Spires, let them and just have them be at 5 to kill them next turn.
Yeah. There's probably going to be quite a bit of thinking in this finals match. There always is. But
But yeah, both sides have to do a lot of life total math.
Torch probably is basically useless at this point, so
Yeah,
just
Torch is kind of dead here. Yeah.
reserves and call that matters.
I mean, hypothetically, it could be 2 mana to get itself countered on the Consecrated Farmland to increase the complexity by 1, but like that's pushing it.
I guess theoretically, if Tyrant blocked something, like a Blaze Boxes, you can then pay 4 to kill it, but
Like holding up Call of the Rose for the Submerged Spires, like is more value from the reserves. Like you don't have to pay 2 mana again. But I feel like the pressure on the life total matters a bit more here.
because then you're actually, like, if you swing for 4 now, Catintrie's down to 5, then even one opener getting in means Catintree dies to call. And, like,
Although
worst case,
that line of play does lose to top deck Shadow of Grace,
yeah,
but we've seen one of them already with 47 cards.
we'll see.
I guess
Check
I guess Binding Decision. No, Binding Decision doesn't do it.
if they just
Rapture Destroy.
block,
Does Rapture Destroy prevent blocking?
only attacking.
So that doesn't do it either. So I feel like it is worth the risk to lower life totals rather than just remove the evasive creatures.
Yeah, and like looking at Catintree, like Catintree has 3 cards in my hand, though Stasis does know 2 items, so okay, it looks like Stasis ends up on the reserves play. Has I mean, there is also the option of um
Yeah, if that torch was a burnout, that would be lethal. Yeah.
I don't think Stasis can die next turn from what I see here. I
The
guess
the how Stasis
yeah,
dies if they attack with everything but one opener would be the with the Shadow of Grace. And I think exactly the Shadow of Grace.
yeah.
Well, no,
Or
Fight
the
Summons.
Prithite one.
Yeah,
Shadow
so
of
there's
Prithite. Prithite summons. Sunlance Panthera also protects Catantree from getting burned out, but don't know if that's very relevant here. Market Negotiator does theoretically gain 3 life, but Catintree doesn't have like a known creature, so that doesn't matter. Okay, it looks like Stasis is gonna go for the opener, hold back 1 opener, attack with 2. Or maybe that was just a random configuration. No.
I mean, even attacking with a single opener, that means it's that there's no way to lose the game when it still prevents the tyrant from attacking. So just attacking with opener is a reasonable line.
Just attacking with opener prevents you from dying the most, but also it's
It's
the
one less
issue there.
damage. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
just
that might
less.
matter. Yeah, Stasis is going for the higher risk, higher reward play.
Like the thing there is that if you don't attack with the Blaze Foxes, then 1 opener plus Call of the Rose doesn't kill them. You'd have to get an additional 1 damage off the, I guess, the Blaze Foxes, most likely.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
so
let's see if Catintree top decks it.
47.
That
One more shot. 6 and 46.
Sunlance Panthera notably does.
Catintree going for Femia instead of attempting for lethal, which probably is correct because the odds of
Yeah.
you top decking lethal is low.
Stasis is still on a 2-turn clock, and then you're able to get 2 blockers for the openers, which are nice and don't like cause you to die. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't block Blaze Foxes, so if Blaze Foxes gets the +2/+0, you're still dead. But
Not ominous-ing the Celestial Realm. Huh. Okay, I guess.
yeah, if Stasis drew a 0 mana card or something.
Well, I mean, Catintree, I'm not sure if Catintree can survive this, because if Catintree blocks both openers, both of them go face, plus Blaze Foxes, that's 3, plus 2 of Call of the Rose is 5. Tyrant, if
Yeah.
Catintree lets a single opener through, they die to Call of the Rose. And if, which is what's happening here, like they're letting an opener through, then they're gonna die to Call of the Rose.
Yep.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for Catintree. That was a really close game. Oh yeah, you sure can torch your own opener of glass. I guess opting to go for that.
The cooler
Yeah, so
lethal.
I think Catintree just needed to draw the right thing there, and did not.
Yeah,
Sunlight.
perhaps it was better to gamble for lethal in that position. Looking at it from hindsight.
Sunlance Panthera. Also, if we were to, sorry, if Catintree were to have ominous the Celestial Realm there and gone for the Submerged Spires over the Themia, they could have theoretically drawn into Panthera, which would have protected them from the Opener of Glasses and burn spells. The issue there is you're
Mhm.
just dying to attacks in that case, which you don't want to be doing.
Do we board into negotiators for life gain?
Maybe. They don't die to shock as well, which is really nice. Oh wait, no, they're 1/1s now. They're not dumb anymore. So they do die to shock.
A
Shimmering
nice thing
Sky
to
could be an
have
annoying wonder.
a nice thing to have would be the frontier land that gains you life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hand has no white mana in it.
Unfortunate timing, but I do need to
I
leave now, so at least we got game one.
unfortunate.
Guess we'll see the result later. Okay. Missed out on most of game two, it looks like, but I am back. I will be editing these together at the end, hopefully. So yeah. We've got, looks like Stasis has been gaze upon greatnessing, and we have an RW Gatekeeper on board, which is going to be annoying for Catintree, because that is just a lot of bodies. Triple binding decision. So some stuff has been happening. Looks like we retreated to the portal holes after making some blocks, perhaps. So that's gonna Prithite summons to bring back a couple. Sorry, to exile most likely the Artleby and perhaps the Market Negotiator. Who knows? Tyrant has the Celestial Realm as a relevant thing to be cloning. Just going to be able to give Catintree draws and draws and draws, where they otherwise might not have. Yep. So Protect Summons, yeah, just hits the RW. And now we will see. Mar Negotiator is just going to be able to gain life, which is just annoying for Stasis again. Assuming that Catintree can find these non-creatures, which, I mean, there's one right there. Oh, hello, Kagane.
Hello. Uh, mm,
What happened earlier in game two since I was not here?
so Catentree mulliganed. Their opening hand did not contain white mana. Then
Ah,
they had a hand with two Prified Summons, one binding decision. They bottomed Prified Summons, and then they just kept drawing removal.
and now we're in this position. Okay. So yeah, at this point, Catintree has draw off this Tyrant and Celestial Realm, and the Market Negotiator has blockers, or at least a couple of them off this Crowned Entity, or just one for now, it looks like. Well, two, because of the Materialize. But yeah, this is annoying for Stasis, definitely. Though the Gazes and Gatekeeper are just going to be able to consistently generate bodies in the reserves until Catintree can do something about it.
And Shockadel is pressing more damage, which is nice.
Yeah,
Great top deck.
that pushes. Never mind,
Like
actually.
you can make your lover a 5-power creature, which then forces either a March Negotiator or the Tyrant to die.
Yeah,
Although Crowned Entity does have enough enchantments to become a creature.
yes. Which then it plus the green worm will just block. Which, like,
Its rating the Crowned Entity is fine. Is
yeah,
actively good even.
it's bad for Catentree, but it's not as bad as like losing the Tyrant. Okay, it looks like we're gonna see the gatekeeper. And yeah,
Like there is an argument for activating Sundown, but I think having a 5/2 lover to all is extremely important this turn.
yeah. And that lever tall is just gonna be bigger. This is a bit ridiculous. I mean, your draws are perfect too. I mean, based on what you said about their hands and the board state. Okay. Oh wait, yeah, lover is only a 4/2, not a 5/2.
Well, it becomes a 5/2 after Gatekeeper targets it.
Oh, true. Right. I assume Catintree will block with the crowned entity here. Because yeah, that trades with the lover, but Gatekeeper is gonna be able. Well, Gatekeeper can't target itself, so it won't be able to buff itself.
But now you just
Which
have an endless number of 5/2 lovers. Assuming
that's
more removal
true.
isn't drawn. Which
Yeah.
more
Oh,
removal was
oh,
drawn.
more removal was drawn. Okay, so well, now there's the Shadow of Grace to be able to get rid of the Gatekeeper, which stops the lovers from being 5/2s and stops more from being made, so it's pretty nice. Yeah, Tyrant attacks, which gives Catintree more draws off the Celestial Realm, and we'll see how if or how Stasis blocks. Like taking
I think
6 isn't bad here.
Yeah. The Shadow of Grace can remove 2 attackers.
Yeah.
Uh,
So most likely casting it pre-combat to get rid of the, or in beginning of combat to get rid of the Artleby is best. Well, I guess
or
that does get rid of an attacker.
during the declare attacker step in response to the it'll be trigger is the best time to cast it. Because it fizzles the Artleby effect.
Oh, true. But also, it does slow down the body generation if you hit the Artleby. But gaze upon
And
greatness means that probably doesn't matter. So,
then Sundown.
yeah. And Stasis is just churning out bodies here, which is annoying to keep blocking for Catintree, and it's on stuff with
Country's effective life total is at 6 because of the Bloom Rock Enclave.
yeah. Okay, looks like Catintree is gonna opt to just get rid of the Artleby rather
At
than
4.
trying to fizzle it.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Which this Crocodile's in a bit of a rough spot here. It's gonna be forced to kill. Well, I guess if he reserves here.
You can well you guys pull out lovers and then you have a 4/2.
Also, yeah, can stack.
You can activate reserves here to get more 1/1s.
Yeah, you can
Or get
also like stack it so that the gaze moves out first. So yeah.
So yeah, Gaze pulls out a 1/1 and then creates another 1/1 in the reserves, or creates 3 1/1s so that you can activate the reserves later.
Yeah. So now you're basically just getting 3 mana, put 3 1/1s, or most likely.
2, 3, 4. Make lover a 4/2 and then You can swing for 10 here, and then you have Bloom Rock Enclave for 2 more damage on top.
Yeah, Lover is unfortunate here because Lover requires Menace and it kills the Shadow of Grace. So Lover basically just has to be blocked by the Negotiator and Word, which cuts off Catintree's source of life gain.
And you can't block with Shadow of Grace to kill Lover, because you want to keep the RLB Gatekeeper locked down, which means Market Negotiator is dying.
I mean, technically, there is the option of double block Lover with Shadow and Word if you'd rather have the Market Negotiator. Because like RLB Gatekeeper, if the Lover Tell dies there, won't be able to keep cloning it. And like at that point, it is just cloning once. Okay, looks like Catintree opts to do this.
And we'll probably die to Bloom Rock Enclave next turn,
Yeah,
or just more tokens.
no life gain right now. It's unfortunate and draws another land, which certainly isn't helping. Is there any way Catintree can kill? I guess if somehow they go Kalia into non-creature spell, they can drop 2 counters on something and attack for 10. But
Well, no, they have no way of drawing cards right now.
yeah,
And
that's
if
true.
they like drawing cards will happen post combat.
Yeah. So it looks like
So I
kind
think
of just
Stasis is going 2-0 here.
yeah. I guess they could theoretically draw into Rapturous Joy into Shimmering Sky and then Prithite summons. Do they have the mana for that? Because that does gain them 5 life. Okay, well, it's another land, so it doesn't matter. And that is going to be game. Stasis ends up winning in his first GP that he participated in. So yeah, I guess we'll see if Stasis or Catintree or both wants to come in here and talk after the game. Yeah. I'm playing mono red. This is what my deck does. For me, this is just a pointless argument. I assume both players did get stuck on lands at some point, and the draws felt frustrating. So I assume they're both a little bit salty here.
Mm.
It is also like the most important game, so
Yep, high stakes on this. Tension, feelings involved. Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna pause the recording for now until in case if either of them want to come in and talk, I'll unpause it. But if they don't, this will be the end. Okay, it looks like we got Stasis in. Hello, Stasis.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you? Well,
All right.
congratulations on winning. First off, all you just ended up
Thank
winning
you.
your first DP, so pretty
Yeah,
nice.
good feeling.
What are your overall thoughts on like the meta game and your deck?
Um, the metagame itself felt pretty like aggro leaning apart from this finals. I think mono red generally struggles against like decks that go slightly over top of it. Like generally in Magic, you want to be slightly slower than your opponent. So I wasn't very confident about all the aggro matchups, but this matchup felt a bit slower.
Yeah,
With
definitely.
Cat's deck trying to play like these really dirtily but impossible to beat threats. So I felt kind of pretty heavily advantaged in this matchup. Yeah, I think that's about it.
The big thing with Catintree's deck is that uh, it's a deck that requires enchantment removal pretty much in a very red heavy metagame,
It
and
it
you're on
requires
mono red.
enchantment removal if you don't have enough pressure to just go on top of it, and my deck
Yeah, I was
does.
gonna say it requires enchantment removal or player removal,
Yeah,
and I
and
had
you
the
have the
latter.
player removal.
Yeah.
Like the Catintree against Catintree is an auto loss against me is because my deck falls apart to negate. I'm only running 15 creatures.
Yeah, and your deck is about controlling the
And it's
board,
mono
which
red, so I
can't
can't
do
remove
as
any of
much.
their enchantment value engines.
So I think the only real problem cards from that matchup were the 1-mana removal spells. Those looked very, very strong there, especially because they could dodge tokens. But I fought my way through.
Yeah, the binding decisions are quite good.
Mhm.
Like they are the one situation, and it did come up during those games, is where you have a lover to all, and you could the Catintree can't remove it because it's a token.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There is also a market negotiator, which I think Cat must have sided in.
There's
That's
one
a
in the
problem
game.
if I don't draw removal. It's pretty good if I do, because most of my removal trades up against it. Like Burnout trades up on mana. Lover of All trades up on a token. But I somehow drew like only creatures in game 2 against it, but it still worked out.
Yeah. Yeah, you just managed to, with those lovers, to force Catintree to make unfavorable trades.
Mhm.
How do you feel?
Yeah,
About, how do you feel about Opener of Glass? You're the only one who's actually seen it.
Yeah, no, the card is fucking incredible. I'm gonna be honest. This is like the worst it's gonna get in a metagame, I think, and it's still really good here.
Yeah, Opener of Glasses.
I'm pretty confident in it.
So
I also had a line in game 1 where that one turn where Cat was at 9 life and tapped out and swung and presented lethal the next turn. I had a potential line where I had 4 lands in play and I had like a burn spell and an opener of glass and a blaze fox in my reserves. So if I drew a land, I could have gone land drop, reserves, swing for 7, and then lover for all my own opener,
Yeah,
or just
looking at it in
kill them.
hindsight,
But
it was correct to only swing with one lover to all. I mean, one Opener of Glass instead of both the lover glass and the blaze
yeah,
foxes. Because
swinging with
for
it is also prevents the tyrant swing because it deals 6 to
uh
Cat.
because there were 6 cards that Cat could have drawn there to kill you.
Mhm.
Those being the Purified Summons and the Shadow of Grace. So
Yeah, I don't think I'm beating those cards, to be
yeah,
honest.
so there was a 6 in 46 chance if they activated the Celestial land, the Ominous land I had. So
Mhm.
looking at it in hindsight, they could have gambled to win it there, but they chose a more defensive line of play and it got them killed.
Yep.
Yep.
I was also wondering if they had like some counterplay. So I started with the sorcery speed removal spell on my own lover, and then if they had like a life gain or like a kill spell in response that would have prevented the damage, I can respond with my own instant speed removal spell to do 2 more.
Yep.
So once it got to my turn, I had it locked up, but I was just worried about a Prithite Summons.
Yeah. There were like
You played pretty
definitely
well.
a couple different top checks that could have
Thank you.
saved Catintree there, but they managed to just, I think they just drew a land or something like that.
It's
Yeah,
surprising how far my Ponza deck got go. I thought I was gonna lose really hard.
Yeah, you managed to get to semis. So
yeah.
I mean, I went into my worst matchup and immediately lost twice. I have no way of winning against that deck.
yeah. Interesting that we saw just normal mono red end up beating out the like ploy abuse, with Speaker, Abrasive Trailblazer, shells.
There's like a saying that like the more unfair the metagame gets, the better mono red gets. I think
Yeah,
that's kind of accurate.
you can
In a
just
healthy
kill
metagame
people.
with like mid-rangey decks that try to outvalue the opponent,
I mean,
have counterplay and all that. It's
Catintree played against Mir's extremely slow control deck, and then my slow control deck. Catintree was Silver is the only like offensively inclined deck that they've played, so they just might have coasted through matchups. But I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say that.
I think Catintree's
Maybe.
deck is like good. I mean, it's not like Catintree just instantly folded to Stasis. Game 1 they could have won, like,
Yeah.
and game 2 was pretty close as well. So
I just barely got by in both.
Well, I'd say game 2 was like Catintree drew a statistically high number of removal spells for how many they run.
Yeah, that was wild. They drew like 3 binding decisions and a Prithite summons.
They
Yeah.
mulliganed their first hand because it didn't have white, and then they bottomed the removal spell in their second hand. So whatever your
Wow.
count is, add 1.
Jesus.
yeah, they did end up flying in the end though, so that was unfortunate.
I'm not sure there's too much to talk about with Monored, but if you have any questions, let me know.
It's just mono red.
It is
I
just
have-
Monored.
I have not seen you activate Bloomrock Enclave.
Yeah, it's never come up. I think maybe 4 is incorrect. I think maybe like 2 or 3 is probably
It
higher.
is nice to like have your opponent's effective life total reduced by 2, but
So-
it's been hurting you more than the opponent.
It has. I think in this metagame, I would definitely want less than 4. In a more like control focused or mid range focused metagame, I think that reach is a lot more relevant. But I need like the tempo, as in like lack of life loss for this metagame.
Yeah. What do you think the best card in your deck is?
Man, probably Artleby Gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Close. I think
double nerf.
Shockadile is also a little bit ridiculous. It can kind of provide 4 power for 1 mana, and 2 of it is haste.
Yeah. Crocodile is definitely a bit concerned.
Sundown, I think, was another like massive underperformer, and I think that's exclusively because of the metagame. I think that card is insane,
Yeah.
but it's just this particular GP was so fast with so many aggro decks that it just didn't really come up that much.
Yeah, like
Well, no, I think that's just a result of your matchups.
Mhm.
Catintree got all the slow control decks. You got
you got
all
put
the
up
tougher
against
ones.
Zangi, into me, into TVP, which TVP is like ultra slow
TVP
control.
was TVP was on control, and
Like
that
you
was a
got put
little
into me
more
and
relevant.
Zangi for your basically
And then Zangi
all of your
again,
matches but one
which is pretty funny.
until finals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean the actual shares like aggro, control-y, tempo, aggro, control, mid-range control, mid-range, or no, that's control, not mid-range. Like mid-range and then aggro. So it's honestly a more even spread than you think. But there were like 3 powerful aggro decks that did end up making it to top cut, which
Yeah, I think it's more just like the decks that I was the most worried about were the aggro decks. Like before the GP, I was thinking that Zangi's and your decks would be the strongest of the bunch, but yeah.
yeah, I think the big thing with me is that I just
I
didn't know
built
how to
my
play
deck
my
to
deck.
I built my deck to be good against aggro, and Angener didn't really.
What were you
Yeah.
saying, Angener?
I think the big thing this GP is that I just didn't know how to play my deck well. And I ended up
Could be.
like
Yeah,
losing
Ang
more
was
than I could have
playing
because of
a
that.
list that I made.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
I do think it's a really cool deck for what it's worth.
yeah,
I just think some parts of it are a little overpowered.
the Ang's deck, Ang tends to play a lot less offensively than he really need to. Like
Control player at heart, I guess.
yeah, and Ang tends to side in the Sundowns. Like you really win in a lot of those matches, like killing them before you really need to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we have anything else to discuss.
Yep.
Yeah. I think my deck is pretty misbuilt, but it just barely managed to get through a couple of tough matchups. So it worked out.
Worked out in the end.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Sorry for the just like gap for half of game 2. And yeah,
It's not really half. It's only been like a couple minutes.
that's it. Bye everyone.